Good morning. This is the Friday Fireside, and I'm here with Nick Buzzell, who is Chairman and CEO of MBTV. Nick, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for
I'm
having
doing
me.
very well. Where are you joining us from?
I am joining us from Rhinebeck, New York, where I live full time, but
Oh,
I
dear
have an
Lord in
office.
heavens. Does that mean you're a Yankees fan?
I am.
Oh, God's sakes. Well,
I know.
obviously, I'm an Orioles fan, and we're not having a real great year this year. But I do need to tell you that every school child in Maryland learns two words before they learn how to say anything else, and those two words are Yankees suck. So anyway, okay. So you're in Rhinebeck, New York. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know you've been knocking around the business for a while, and then let's get into what you're doing now with some really interesting stuff. So tell us about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been in the TV business and the entertainment business pretty much my whole career. I started at MTV and CBS and worked for David Letterman as a kid and came up through the ranks of NBC Universal, where I was head of digital production and worked on a lot of different cool projects, including executive producing Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Bravo.com, where it started, as well as being part of what became the Hulu startup team and being involved in many different projects since then, and then went and left and ran an ad agency that, believe it or not, was the first social media ad agency, which is hard to believe that was only 22 years ago, and effectively started NBTV in 2008, almost 17 years ago now,
Oh,
when the stock market crashed, the Lehman Brothers crash. It was an interesting time to start a company, and built a content production company that effectively has produced over 1,000 projects from brands like Walmart, Marriott, Coca-Cola, Kevin Hart, you name it. But everyone we worked with had the same mission. They all wanted to tell a story, and they all wanted to sell a product. And that has been the evolution of NBTV. We started a sister business to our production business called NBTV Channels, which is really redefining shoppable TV, both as a media and a technology company. And we have a patented technology that I'm happy to tell you more about.
okay. Before you do that, you have what looks like a peacockish thing over there and some statues next to that. What are those statues?
So those are Telly Awards. We actually won six Tellys this year for the work that we've done across both spirits, golf, and pet, which is our shoppable streaming channels. And then the Peacock is from NBC from the early days. I actually started at NBC as an NBC page,
Oh,
which
Lord.
was a
You mean that's really true? People do that?
they do. It's a wonderful program. It's been around for over 100 years. Some of the biggest names in our industry have passed through the halls of 30 Rock, wearing polyester and giving tours of the building.
Okay, so tell us a little bit. You've got some technology that's fascinating, and I've looked at it. Tell us about Buy Bar.
So the buy bar effectively is the promise that's been talked about for the last 20 years on delivering truly shoppable TV. What that means is the ability for a consumer to click and buy in video on any platform without leaving the screen and without using a secondary device or QR codes. So this was something that I'm sure the listeners and yourself have heard about and it's been talked about for a long time. But our objective was to truly deliver on the promise of in-screen, same-screen, shoppable TV. And so the buy bar is a lower third that comes up in the bottom of the screen. It allows you to make a quick buy, which is an instant one-click buy, and you can do that from any device, including a connected TV, a mobile or a device, or a .com experience. We are live today on our owned and operated channels, which is the Spirits Network. So think Food Network, but for beverage alcohol as well as for food, where we have shows with people like Tom Colicchio, with major celebrity guests like Sarah Jessica Parker, who came on the show to sell her wine. And so while you're watching that show, you can buy her wine, you can buy the pots and pans, you can buy anything that you see on the show. And we've made it really easy for the consumer. and we've made it really compelling for the advertiser because this delivers on what we believe is the holy grail of the monetization and the future of video monetization, which allows consumers to buy what they see instantly. And so today, we also have the Golf Nation channel, which is also very much interactive and shoppable. You imagine everything but the tournaments for golf, lifestyles. We've got all kinds of influencers and celebrities on that channel. We've got people like David Ferrity doing ambushes, and we've got Zach Johnson coming on and giving us an interview about his life and background. So there's a lot of different content because we're both a content production company and a media technology company. We produce a lot of the programming that you see. But our goal is with our patented technology that we affectionately call the buy bar, is to start licensing this out to other platforms. Today, within Spirits Network and Golf Nation, we're live on Apple TV, we're live on Vizio, Apple iOS, and Android. And we are coming soon to other platforms like Samsung and Android TV. And we also are in active discussions with many streaming partners and OEMs about licensing the buy bar, where we could apply it to any programming, any existing app infrastructure, and make it instantly shoppable. And I think you'd agree the industry is at a moment in time where something this
We need
powerful,
that.
you know, it's time to monetize differently. And I think, to be very candid, I think the industry has really failed on the consumer experience. I
Okay.
feel like
I
watching,
want to talk about
yeah,
the consumer experience, and after we do this, I want to get into the weeds a little bit about how you make it all work. If I want to use the buy bar, I'm on Vizio. I'm assuming I have to register and put in a form of payment so the one click can actually work without me having to type in stuff, right?
that's right. And as part of that, the way this works is you register one time at the .com level. So very similar to what you would do for a Netflix or a Disney Plus account. You sign up one time, you create an account with us. It's free to create an account. We give you the ability to put your credit card, your billing, and your shipping in. Once you've done that one time at the .com level, anywhere you go, whether it's an Apple TV or a Vizio or in the App Store at Apple, once you authenticate, just like you would with any of the other streaming services, it connects your cart, it connects your wallet across all of those devices. So, what's really exciting about it is that you can use it on your TV, you can complete your checkout on your TV, and you can also complete your checkout on your phone or your desktop. So you could build a cart, let's say, on your TV and then finish on your phone, or you could build, a cart on your phone and finish on your TV. The whole goal is to make it so that as the consumer is watching programming, and in our environments on Spirits Network and Golf Nation, we are not running interruptive ads as well. We are just simply presenting the buy bar
Wait,
as
wait,
the
wait, wait. You are
yeah.
not breaking up the programming running ads. So your 30-minute show is actually 30 minutes?
That's right.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the good news is we're a new network, so we don't have any rules, we don't have any formats that we have to follow, and we believe that the overarching consumer today is really ignoring most of the ads that they're getting, and in a lot of the cases the ads aren't relevant. And if you're interested in the programming, whether it's long form or short form, the experience of having interruptive ads and having 4 to 8 minute ad loads is just unacceptable. So to us, the environment is pure for content, entertainment first, storytelling first, and really designed for us to bring that consumer attention, but also that consumer action within the buy bar. And that buy bar makes it easy and it's unobtrusive and it comes up and it comes down. Think of it like closed captioning. It can come up and it can go away,
At my
depending on.
control, that
That's
consumer.
right.
All
That's
right.
right.
All right. Let's dig into that. How do I make it come up? How do I make it go away?
Well, I mean, there is a very easy feature that allows you to do that, and its functions very similar to any other interactive element, where it just allows you to open and close the buy
But
bar.
I have a remote control, a
Yeah,
Vizio remote control, right?
yeah,
Or an Apple TV remote. I assume that you have enabled a button to do that stuff.
that's right. So it's all through the interactive experience of your current remote. There's no special buttons required.
Okay.
It effectively is a think of it as a lower third or a layer that comes over the screen, and you can instantly start using your remote to navigate that layer. And that quick buy button is the first button that the device remote goes to, and all you'd have to do is hit select or your kind of center action button, and then it makes the purchase. And what happens is it goes out, it gets real-time inventory. We have a whole retail marketplace that we've built with many different retailers, including some of the biggest retailers in the world, as well as, small, more boutique retailers. We can send the orders to anybody. I mean, if we wanted to do it direct to consumer.com, we wanted to send it through Amazon or Walmart, we integrate with Shopify. All of these touch points are built into our retail marketplace, and it enables us to really deliver on anything, whether it's spirits or CPG items. We even have enabled a donation feature where you could donate now to a specific cause. When I mentioned the show The Pantry that we produce with Tom Colicchio and many other chefs and celebrities, we shot that at City Harvest in Brooklyn, and we made it so that you could donate to City Harvest while you were watching the show. So that interactive layer can be commerce driven, it could be interactive, it could be gamified. Really, this is kind of 1.0 of what we believe the buy bar can deliver on. And we've demonstrated this for the last 5 years. We've generated millions of dollars in consumer sales. We've seen engagement time of over 14 minutes. People are spending real money on this method. And we believe that as we grow the audience and as we grow the consumer behavior, that this eventually will replace commercials altogether.
Okay. And you are device specific. So let's assume that you were on LG and eventually you will be. So on LG, I'm using my LG device, okay? Um, but you're not platform specific. I could be using LG to watch Hulu.
Yeah,
My
well,
husband
unfortunately,
continues
you
to watch
can't watch
Hulu.
Hulu anymore.
All right,
Uh,
hold on. Okay.
yeah,
So I
but to
could
your
be
point,
using LG to watch Hulu, and I have learned, or somehow or other, you've told me how to use this LG remote to navigate around on whatever I'm watching. So a
that's
show
right.
comes up. All right. When you license this out to someplace other than your own two channels, right?
Yes.
How do you intend to let me know, the viewer, that I can buy something?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of ways that we help educate the consumer. One is good old fashioned, quick 15-second pre-roll that says, as you're
The
watching this
following
show,
show has
you can
this
purchase.
capability. You want to buy the wine,
That's
click the
right.
red button on whatever. Okay.
That's
All
right.
right.
And in
So,
other cases, so some cases, it's subtle. Like imagine you're watching Yellowstone and you could buy the cowboy hat and the boots and the vodka that they're promoting in the show. And you could book a trip to Wyoming, or Montana. You have the ability to kind of take any action related to that show within the context of what you're seeing. You like the couch they're sitting on, you like the shirt he's wearing, you can buy all of that.
but
So
how do I know that I can buy that on the device that I'm watching on?
So that
How do
goes
you
back
tell me
to the
that?
awareness. Yeah. So part of our awareness campaign is driven around not only educating the consumer through, like I mentioned, the pre-roll aspects, but also being able to have a consistent representation of that and a curiosity factor of where you can go and click and experiment and try it for yourself. And then also some of our programming, we produce, as I mentioned, a lot of the shows for our own network, but the infotainment aspect of this, in some cases, we do take that QVC type approach where we are direct selling by
Yep.
saying to somebody, click here now, buy now, have this, awesome experience now. And, we've been called Netflix meets Shopify. And I think that's a good, analogy because that Shopify layer, we believe that we can deliver that commerce layer across television, especially connected TVs and also mobile app environments.
Okay. And this can work. I'm going to assume you don't care whether I watch something on linear or on streaming or on demand, you are relating to the program that I'm watching, right?
Correct. And
Okay.
part of this, right, is as the evolution of media continues, the difference between linear and streaming and fast and on demand and SVOD,
It
is all
disappears.
kind
To me, the consumer, it's just a show.
that's right.
Right. I
So
want
it's
to
all
get to the
kind of
show the
converging.
easiest way possible. Okay.
That's right. And our key is to figure out, in the ecosystem, is who owns this, right? I mean, here's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
right? It's like, is it the app layer? Is it the OEM layer? But to build on what I was saying earlier, I think the consumer experience, especially in fast, and the business model in fast as a content creator, is terrible. And I think it's only a matter of time before real content library owners wake up and realize that the fast model is not going to work. And I think the consumer, I mean, without naming what platform I was on, I was watching the old movie Air Force One on a fast channel. And that's a movie I've seen before. And I wasn't able to get through the first 15 minutes because I had two 6-minute ad breaks before I could even get past the first act of the film. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, even though I really wanted to see a movie that I've already seen,
Yep.
this is unwatchable. And I shut it off and I went and did something else. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not a good experience. And if you think about technology and you think about the history of everything that we're now experiencing, especially in e-commerce, the consumer experience has to come first.
Oh God, yeah.
And we as an industry have asked the consumer to be detectives, to figure out where the programming is, to figure out who has it. You need a spreadsheet to know where to watch the
No,
Yankees.
you need a 13-year-old. They
That
can do
too.
anything.
Right. Well, and that's a good point because the younger consumer, I have two young daughters, 7 and 12. The way
Yep.
they consume media is very different.
Yeah.
They don't watch commercials. They look at it as a big distraction to what they're doing. They're willing to pay, or I'm willing to pay, candidly, to avoid commercials for them. They don't refer to TV as TV. They refer to it by streaming platform. I want to
Right.
watch Netflix. I want
I
to
want
watch
to watch
Disney Plus,
YouTube.
right? I want to watch YouTube. And when you think about, even YouTube, 60% of YouTube is watched on a television.
That's right.
And YouTube is effectively the largest TV network in the world. And at the same time, you can't really transact on a YouTube experience. You can't buy anything from YouTube. Everything is linking you out. Everything is bringing you somewhere else. And when you look at that experience, even with QR, there's all this breakage, right? It's like I'm being linked to another site. I've got to sign in if I'm not already a member of that site. I've got to continue to follow the link chain to get to the product to put it in my cart to only find out that it can't be delivered to me or that it's out of stock,
Okay.
right?
Let's
Or
talk real quickly. I know because I am a tequila fan, and a lot of the tequila I want, I can't get at my local stores, so I buy it online, but not everybody ships to Maryland. I assume when I sign up and I give you a delivery address, you automatically know what can be sold to me and what can't be sold to me. So if I'm watching Sarah Jessica Parker and she holds up a bottle of something that I could buy, you can't edit the video, but if I click on that, you can say not available in Maryland, right?
correct,
And
correct.
that happens right away.
That's right. And that's all instant pricing, instant availability. And what we can also say is this isn't available in Maryland, but these products that are similar are,
Right?
and would you like to try those? We also, as part of our patented technology, have a recommendation engine that uses AI to determine what you're watching and what you're buying and to recommend both product and content. So, as part of this evolution, and the more that we learn about our consumer, and the more that we own the audience data, that's another big part of this because many people are renting their audiences, from YouTube and Facebook and
Yep.
Google, or from even the cable providers. This is an opportunity to really own your customer, to own your customer life cycle, to own your customer data. And as we learn more about that customer, we can really deliver on personalized TV. Because one of the challenges, as you know, is discovery, right? The consumers are overwhelmed with choice. There's so many different options. How do you promote a new show? How do you get consumers to try new products and new things? So this is really designed to get the consumer experience really right and dialed in so that it's seamless, that it's compelling, and that the consumer is used to this and it's not done in a one-off fashion. I think to be candid, the biggest challenge with what you're seeing in shoppable TV is that nobody is doing it consistently enough
Oh.
across enough frequency where the consumer knows it's there.
I have told my friends in this business for God, it seems like 20 years now. One of the issues with shopping on TV is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. In the linear days, only a fraction of the people were watching the show tonight, watching TV tonight. And of that fraction, only another fraction is watching the show that I'm going to watch. And of that group, a smaller fraction is going to even pay attention to what I'm shopping. You get around that because you are linking to the show wherever it's available, and you're going to have reach, but you're going to have frequency. You're going to be out there all the time. That's a big
Right.
deal.
That's a big deal. I mean, to put it in financial terms, if you look at a conversion rate of around 2.5%, and you look at, let's say, the
A little
bottom
high, but okay, yep.
the bottom four, streamers, and let's say the bottom four OEMs, it's billions of dollars in transactional
Yeah,
revenue.
yeah.
And when you look at it with any of the majors like a Netflix or a Disney Plus, the numbers are astronomical. And it's a huge new revenue stream for an industry that needs it very badly. And it's a much better consumer experience. And
Okay.
it's something that,
I don't want to run out of time here before we
yeah,
get into a little bit of the plumbing. Um, does Paramount have to integrate this, or does Vizio? There you go.
both.
It's a
I mean,
simple one,
we can do it at both layers, right? We can do it at the OEM, the actual operating system layer,
right?
which would then mean that it's available to anybody, any app that wants to experience or use it.
Yep.
Um, and then we can do it at, let's say, the Paramount level, which is the app level, individual app level. It would be isolated within that app level, like it is with our Spirits Network and Golf Nation apps. But once we integrate and we into a platform once, we can replicate that very easily. So, we've already done it with Vizio. As I mentioned, we're working on the others.
Yep.
We're on Apple TV. Apple is an interesting environment because there's a lot of changes there, and you've got to write to the code. Our CTO, Mike Buzzell, is a 30-year software development executive, and he really is the muscle behind this. He's also my dad, so having a dad who knows how to build software is very helpful.
That
Uh,
helps.
but it's a vision and a dream that we've had as business partners because we've been in business together since we started NBTV 17 years ago. It's a dream we've had for over 20 years, and
Okay.
the
Let's
technology.
talk about what your device partner, and we'll use Vizio as an example. So you're on Vizio, and you've got our friend Katie Pond over there who's maneuvering all the bits and pieces. If she wants to do something with you on Paramount Plus, on Yellowstone, we'll use that example. She needs to go to Yellowstone. She needs to go to Paramount Plus and work her way through the mechanics. We have the ability to sell Stetson hats, and you have a Yellowstone Stetson hat. Do you want to do that? Now that can take forever. The more often you do it, the easier it is. But someone's got to tie those knots together.
That's
And
right. So we are working directly with platforms like Paramount and streamers, like Disney Plus, and really talking to every streaming platform there is, and open to talking to others that we, may not be aware of or may not be aware of us. But the idea is that we would do the integration at the streaming platform level,
oh,
and that we would also do it at the Vizio level, and that there would be a revenue share between Paramount, Vizio, and NBTV.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then this way, everybody is generating new revenue, and everybody is being able to monetize their programming. And to be clear, as I'm sure some people will be listening to this and think, well, what if you don't want it on Yellowstone or you don't want it on something? Like I said, the capability to treat this like closed captioning is the key. So we can turn it on, we can turn it off. The consumer can turn it on and can turn it off. So there's a lot of tools that we've built on the front end and on the back end, including geo-targeting and down to zip code level delivery. We have a partnership with some of the same day delivery services like GoPuff, for example, where we can kind of instantly deliver products in key markets like New York or LA or Chicago or Miami. And the idea is that depending on what it is, whether it's a can of Coca-Cola or it's a Stetson hat, is that there are different methods and different consumer expectations on the speed of that. But typically, we can deliver any product within 2 to 4 business days. And we have built over the last 5 years a very robust retail platform to be able to kind of plug into anybody, but also to kind of deliver on that consumer experience. When we first launched the platform, it was right before COVID, and we were testing it in New York with same day delivery. And we did a documentary with our partners at Diageo for Don Julio, and it was a 15-minute documentary that you could learn about how the tequila was made. And I would buy the tequila at the beginning of the documentary, and I would have it in my hand before the doc was over
Whoa.
in New York City. So I was getting under half-hour delivery, and I said, "This is like Willy Wonka, in the chocolate factory." And really, the true promise of shoppable TV or taste what you're watching TV. So our philosophy and our tagline has been watch by taste on Spirits Network, or in golf, it's watch by play.
Yep.
But the general concept remains the same. And I do think that, one of the challenges we have is that it's not a technology challenge. It's a people challenge. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
blown away by how many companies, even today, even since I've been out of, let's say, large corporations, we work with some of the biggest companies in the world, and there's so much, disconnect between strategy and product and ad sales and programming, and really the connectivity of what those need to be monetized and to be successful. It's almost more of an internal stakeholder challenge than it is a technical challenge, and we're trying to navigate that. But let's just pretend, I was the CEO of Netflix, or I was the CEO of Disney, and I knew this existed. Not only would I want it, but I'd want to own it, and I'd
Well,
want to control it, and I'd want to drive it through our pipes and through our rails. And so I feel like it's just a matter of time before a decision maker with real strategy and real understanding of the upside here says, we're gonna lead, we're gonna own this, because at some point someone's gonna take that pole position. I know Amazon's working on some stuff that's similar,
yep.
and I know TikTok Shop is very successful. But we have a patent on this. The experience that we've delivered is the slickest that I've seen out there. If you haven't tried it, go to spiritsnetwork.com, go to golfnation.com, download the app, check it out. It's very easy to use. And we have a site dedicated, buybar.io, that talks about this as a B2B
I was
offering.
on it this morning. Yep.
And our goal is to really just get the word out that we're now willing and able to license this beyond our own channels. And we think the wider that this is used and the more people that use it, we can be neutral. We're not exclusive to any retailer.
Right.
We've really built a marketplace that is very flexible. And we think that over time, this will become a very big revenue stream for those that embrace it. And for the ones that are first and early, there's a lot of advantages to doing so.
All right. Well, guess what? We're out of time, but Nick Buzzell, you're going to be busy.
I hope so.
That this is a serious product, and I think our industry can use it and take advantage of it. Anyway, thank you for your time,
Thank you,
and
Rick.
this will run in a couple of weeks on the Friday Fireside.
I appreciate it.
Bye bye.